All right. Hi, good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining our webinar today, which is entitled Meet Companion by Minitab. So I hope that all of you can hear me loud and clear. So just make sure that you turn on the volume of the speaker connected to your computer, and just make sure that you can see my screen as well. Okay. So if you have any difficulty or any issues with seeing my screen, or if you can't hear anything, just raise up your hand or just type in the question pane. Okay. So my name is Yan Fen. I'm actually in charge of marketing for Minitab products in Busy Systems. So these are my contact details, my email address, and my contact number. So we are covering both Singapore and Malaysia. That explains why there are three numbers based on our three different offices. So let's get started. Okay, so before we actually start the webinar today, there are a few housekeeping rules to make sure that everyone is able to follow the webinar uninterrupted. So first of all, if you have any questions during the presentation, please type them into the question pane on your GoToWebinar control panel. So you may send in the questions anytime throughout the presentation, but we will only be addressing it during Q&A session at the end of the webinar. Okay, and then secondly, please make sure that you have connected to the audio via your computer speakers because we're using VoIP connection. So and last but not least, this webinar will be recorded, and therefore we will set it as listen-only mode to avoid interruptions to the audio recording or interruptions to the other participants. So once the webinar is over, we will post this recording up on our website, so it can be accessible anytime on our website www.bizits.com. Or you can also subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is Minitab Malaysia and Singapore. So the topic of the webinar today is entirely different or a totally separate topic from the usual one that maybe some of you might have attended in the past. So usually we have been conducting a lot of webinars about Minitab statistical software or any tools under Minitab statistical software. So the webinar today will be nothing about Minitab statistical software. It is another product called Companion by Minitab, which is also another product offered by Minitab US. So you just sit in and go through the webinar with us, see whether this is something that you're looking for and something that could help you in your continuous improvement projects or Six Sigma projects. So before I go into the introduction or explain what this software is about, let's look at a bit about the history of how this product came into market. So in 2003, there's another company called SkyMarks. So SkyMarks PathMaker was acquired, modified, and released as Minitab Quality Companion, which is version 1. So at that time, it was actually meant to address non-statistical needs of Six Sigma market, and the product itself comes with only basic project organization and problem-solving tools. And then in 2006, Quality Companion 2 was released, which has been completely rewritten by Minitab. And in 2008, Minitab released Quality Companion 2 Dashboard. So before that, all the while, it has only been just the soft tools, problem-solving tools, or project organization tools without the dashboard until 2008. And then in 2009, Minitab revised and did some enhancement, improvements on the software. And then they come up with version 3, Quality Companion 3, with the dashboard as well. So in this version, there are enhancements made to better support the deployments And then value stream maps has also been added to address the growing lean movement. And in 2013, Keystone was launched. Keystone was actually cloud-based project management solution, and it comes with a scalable web-based dashboard. So everything is centralized in a cloud project storage with a modified version of Quality Companion Tree as the soft tools. So they called it Keystone tools at that time. And then in 2017, Companion by Minitab was launched, which is what we are having right now. So what is actually Companion by Minitab? In general, this is how you look at it. Companion is actually the only solutions that we have currently in the market to pair customizable continuous improvement tools with a centralized data retention and key performance matrix in a real-time online dashboard, so that you can push the right projects forward, and then you can also assess the risk of your projects in your projects. You can also make the best business decisions out of these metrics and within your projects. So the idea, the focus of Companion by Minitab is these 4 key points, which is plan and align, whereby Companion project comes with roadmaps that make it easy to execute, to share, or to replicate projects across your organization. And then secondly, in terms of execution, you can map out every step in your journey with Companion's project manager. In the work area, plus there are more than 100 powerful visual tools and forms that will enable execution of your projects throughout the organization. And then thirdly, you can also measure and analyze the results using Companion's analysis tools, or by importing your own analysis tools. So it makes it easier when you can work with, let's say, Minitab statistical software. You can have your project team members to send output from Minitab statistical software directly to Companion, for example. And last but not least, you can share the results or the progress of your project in real time. So you can immediately review the status of your improvement initiatives. With the real-time KPI dashboard, you can draw the data from your projects to provide a dynamic visual up-to-the-minute tracking of performance metrics of your overall program. So in words, these are some explanation about what Companion by Minitab is actually. So it helps you to start, track, manage, and share improvement initiatives to achieve business excellence. It is a complete platform that allows you to manage your continuous improvement program. So it comes with a set of tools for you to execute the projects. At the same time, it also provides you an automated dashboard reporting to report on your project progress in real time. So it is also a cloud-based project management solution. So everything is stored in cloud. That will focus mostly on the continuous improvement methodologies. So this is basically the architecture of how Companion by Minitab looks like. So there is a section called desktop app, and there is a section called web app. So the end user or the team members will be sitting on the desktop app most of the time. So the end user or the team members will pull out the projects that has been updated or stored on the cloud system. So they will download the project into the desktop, and then they will do the updating diagrams. And then because there are roadmap templates readily available, and then there are also more than 100 industry-proven process improvement tools all in one application. So you get to share data in between forms and tools within your project files. So there's no need for you to retype the data again every time you move on to different tools or different forms. So this will indirectly save a lot of time as well as reduce the data entry errors, okay, because there's no need for redundant data entry anymore. So once the team member or the user finish working, updating on the project files or the data, then he will save the project, and the project will be saved back to the cloud storage system again. So the cloud storage will provide you secure, centralized location for you to store your projects and data, whereby you can access from anywhere and anytime. So as long as you have the account with the login details, you can just download the project file or view the information after you log into the account. And on the other hand, from the management point of view, on where the management is sitting on, I'm sure they are more concerned on the project status or the key metrics of the program or the project that runs through the organization. So that's where the web app comes in, whereby the management or the project team leader or the steering committee or anyone who wants to know the current project status, they can pull out a dynamic graphical summary such as financial summaries, status reports, and so on, and then to come up with a customizable dashboard reports. So this will also in another way give you an instant insight whenever and wherever you need it. So this is another way of looking at the architecture. So it's about the same. So just that you can have a look on it differently from the cloud systems. So the first step, the end user will log in. Okay, step number one, end user or the team members will log in to the cloud system and then download the project data and project templates to his desktop app, where he will work on updating the tools and forms. Okay, and then he will save the project back to the cloud storage again. And then this web app or the project repository will provide the management the dashboard view, okay, for the aggregated data and project details. And this is also where the project resides, all the project files reside in. And then it is also a design center or a location somewhere, an isolated environment for you to customize the templates or data or the setup of your dashboard reports and all that. So we will take a look on each of them one by one later on. So this is these are the main components of Companion by Minitab. So from the desktop app, okay, we have roadmaps, the tools, and relevant data that will help to populate the dashboard, everything documented in the projects. So you won't have the project data or templates scattered around anymore, because everything is contained or compressed into one project file. And then in web app, it provides you visibility via the dashboard. And then there is a project storage in the repository, as well as in the design center. When I mentioned earlier, you can do customization of your data or templates. So this will provide you another way of standardization and control of your data and templates. So who are the target users of Companion? Okay, so currently the main users that we have are like project team. Okay, it could be executives, champions, managers who are responsible for continuous improvement. They can be consultants, coaches, master black belts, and so on, that who needs to aggregate and compile metrics across multiple projects, or if they help the team to work through improvement projects. And it can be engineers as well, or project leaders, team members, or any practitioners who carry out or report on continuous improvement projects. And then it can be just anyone who are doing continuous improvement, or operations excellence, Lean Six Sigma, or quality improvement projects or programs in the organization. Okay. So these are the list of our customers who started using Quality Companion version 3 and in Singapore and Malaysia. So these are the list of the customers or the users, and then the list of users around the world who have been using Companion by Minitab. So these are including Malaysia, Singapore, as well as around the world in US especially. There are a lot of companies who started deploying Companion by Minitab for their improvement projects. So just take a look at the desktop app. There's a quick introduction or about the features of the desktop app before I run through to the actual software. So in terms of features on the desktop app itself, we have project roadmaps, okay, and then it also comes with a complete process improvement toolkit, everything contained in one place. So that's how you can share data across in between forms and tools. And the good thing that has been updated recently is you can also send output from your Minitab statistical software to Companion. And besides that, you can also insert project from Minitab software directly into Companion. And then any updates that you have done in your Minitab file, it will also be saved inside the Companion projects. So this is something that has been integrated between the two software. And you can also import Monte Carlo simulation models from Minitab 19 into Companion. And then last but not least, you can also send tools and output to Microsoft Word and PowerPoint. So it depends on the usage. What do you need to do with the output or the tools? This is how the Companion desktop app looks like. I'll go. Okay, and then these are the list of the tools which are customizable, process improvement tools which are available in Companion. So as you can see, these are only part of the list. We have many more. So I won't be able to cover everything today because we only have up to 1 hour time. So I will only be covering some of the useful and the most commonly used tools in the market. So you can also download a 30 days trial to explore around by your own after this. Okay, let's go to the actual software. Okay. So this is how, what you will see when you launch Companion by Minitab. So the recent update to Companion by Minitab will make the layout looks slightly different when you start up the program. And there is an option for you to create. This is a recent update added. You can create tools only project if you would like to only generate tools without including the whole project templates, roadmaps, and so on. You can start up with create a tools only project. Just directly click on the tools on the icons here. You can also see the full list of tools, and then pick the tools that you want to add to insert into the project file. There is also a blank form and so on. If I show less, it will go back to that icon. So if you click on create a tools only project, it will be an empty project file without the roadmaps. Okay, so it will be a totally blank. So from here, when you develop through your project or the progress, so you will insert the tools from one by one according to your needs or requirements from the top ribbons, okay? Or you can add from the Add Tool link. If you click on the Add Tool button, you will be able to access to the same list of tools. But the difference is only that it has been categorized according to the different category of tools. Okay, so I'll just show you the one with the templates. Okay, so if you have activated the project workflow, then you will have an option to submit an idea, and then once your idea has been approved, you submit it to the steering committee for review. Once the idea has been approved, then you will be moving to the next phase to start your project and so on. So all of the phases will need to go through the review or approval by the steering committee. And you can still turn this option off anytime later on, or you can just opt for non-workflow projects. So under non-workflow projects, you have the readily available project templates. So we have like 8D, CDOV, DMAIC, Just Do It, Kazan, and so on, PDCA, QFD, and so on. So let me just pick one to show you how does it look like. I'll select DMAIC. So it should come with a project template with project phases and roadmaps readily populated for you. Okay, so this is how it looks like when you set up a non-workflow project, and there is a management section over here on the left hand side, and then these are the roadmaps with the phases populated for you: define, measure, analyze, and so on. So under each of these phases, we have also included the recommended tools, so that at least it serves as a guideline when you're not sure what, maybe a team member who is still new to the project team, he's not sure what he should do at each phase of the project. So he can just refer to these recommended tools. But of course, if you do not want the tools to be there, you don't like the name of the phase and so on, you can always rename it. Just right click and rename. Okay. And then if you don't like the tools to be there, you don't want to cover it yet, just delete. Okay, so you can just customize anything that goes under the roadmaps or under each phases. So this middle section, this is called a work area. This is the area where you will view and enter data in forms and work with each tool. So when you click on any of the forms or tools, it will be shown in the work area in the middle. And then, okay, so when you click on selected tools, it will trigger the task pane. So on the right section, this is called task pane. Task panes is available in process map or value stream map. It is an area for you to enter shape data. Like if you're in a brainstorming tools like Fishbone Diagram, it is an area for you to brainstorm a list or to import X and Y variables. So this you can also hide, just toggle in between the arrow button. Okay, so first of all, I'll just show you how to go through the forms. I think, yeah, this is insert. You can also still access to add tool from here, just like the tools only project that we created earlier. So from here or from the top ribbon, either way will be fine, or you can just right click the phase name and then insert tools. So there are a few ways for you to do it. Let's say I'll just choose from the top ribbon. Let's look at the form first. So once I click on forms, you will see that there are a list of, I think, more than 40 forms available. So these are all the standard useful and commonly used forms for continuous improvement program or continuous improvement projects. So you can use these forms, just pick any one of them and use it as it is, or you can start from a blank form, design a custom form by your own. If you click on a blank form, then you will have to add in all the control fields, text fields, or all the fields that you want to capture the data on your own from scratch. Okay, so this is a blank form, and then you can just insert the table, checkboards, anything that you want to customize into your form here. So let's say I'll just pick a sample form. Okay, and then let's see if you look at Gantt chart. Gantt chart is available as well. Okay, so our Gantt chart is it appears as one of the forms. So by default, any form that you open up, it will appear as fill out mode. Fill out mode, that means that it allows you to capture information and just fill out the form. So if you like to, you can directly type in the name from here, the date, and so on. So if you would like to customize or edit this form, just go to design mode on the top left corner, and then you can just change anything that goes into your form. Say I change the name. I can also add in a field. Let's say I want to add in a department. I just make a space here. Department. And then I want to set it as drop down list. Just click on drop down. And then you can just set the name of your control fields. And then you can add in the value here. Let's say finance, technical, sales, and so on. Okay, and you can just bold them. This can all be customized. Then when you go back to the fill out mode, just click on fill out mode again. That's where you can see the changes that you have performed for the form. So you can directly choose from the drop down list that you have created earlier. So this is another way to customize your form. And then Gantt chart, I will not go into details, but one good thing about the Gantt chart in Companion is that whenever you add in the activities, let's say data collection, then it will populate the chart for you right away. So you don't have to create the chart on your own after that. So what's the progress and so on. So when you add in another activity at the bottom, then the Gantt chart will be generated for you according to dates and so on. And then there are also some other recommended fields at the bottom, what are the milestones, summary of objective and conclusion that you want to make based on the Gantt chart. But if you don't like it, you can just go back to the design mode and then just remove. Okay, so that is about forms. So as you can see earlier, there are a list of I think 30 to 40 forms available. So you can always come back to explore whichever forms that you want to take a look at and so on. There is also FMEA, control plan, C&E matrix, even the minutes of meeting for you to record or archive meeting details, okay, and so on. And there is also project prioritization matrix for you to choose the best projects to work on. So I will not go into detail for each of the forms. Next, we will just look at another useful tool, which is process map. So let's say I add it from here. Process map. So by default, there are two options for you to pick from, either a blank process map or a cross-functional process map. So cross-functional process map comes with the departments and phases for you to work through the steps of a process or procedure. I'll just show you how it looks like, but we will work on the blank process map from scratch later on. Okay, so this is how the cross-functional process map looks like. Okay, with department and phases, so you can map your shapes across department and phases according to the process or the procedure. Okay, if you don't like any of them, you can still customize, just delete the shapes from here and so on. Okay, so I just would like to quickly show you how you can easily come up with a simple process map from scratch. I'll choose the blank one. And then, okay, just give me a few seconds. I'll just quickly come up with a simple process map. And this is an example which is taken from the companion training manual. So it is about reducing pizza defects. I think this is quite straightforward and easy to understand. So when you want to create a process map, just go to the shapes that you want to add in. So the shapes are all available here. Okay. You can just scroll through the list, the start, the end, decision shapes, and so on. So this is something like a flow chart. So just click on the start shape, and then I'll just rename it start. Okay. And then I would like to take order, which is one of the process. I click on the rectangular box. Then I will take order. Okay, to rename it. And then the diamond decision shape. Can we make a pizza out of it? Can we make pizza? And then another process, which is to cook the pizza. All right. And then last but not least, the end shape, which is delivery. Deliver to customer. Okay, so the shapes are all there. I just want to add in connectors. You scroll a bit down in between the shapes, and then you'll see connectors at the bottom. So I like to add in straight end arrow, and you can also make use of this multi-insert mode when you have multiple copies of the same object or same shapes to be added. So just click this button to activate, and then click the object that you want to add. So I'll click on multi-insert mode, and then I'll go to the straight end arrow. So when you point to your cursor to the shapes, it will show you green dots. That means that it is a center point, so that you won't, so that it will easily align in between the shapes. I'll change that later. Okay. Okay. And then I disable. Now I would like to add in the right angle and arrow. Okay, there's another one. Go down here. All right, then I just disable the multi-insert mode. This one is supposed to be green. Okay, so this is how easily and quickly you can come up with a process map from scratch. And then the reason why I did not put it nicely from start is because I want to show you how you can easily align the shapes or space them accordingly. so that you do not have to go and drag one by one to space it nicely. So just highlight the section that you want to align. Make sure that you highlight them all. Okay, and then go to align. Middle. Okay, horizontally. Same for the bottom. Align middle as well. So it'll be automatically aligned for you. So if you want to make sure that these two shapes at the right hand side, at the rightmost, to be aligned vertically, just highlight that section, align, center, that means vertically. Okay, and then need to rename this as well. No, just double click on any shapes or the arrows if you want to rename it, and then yes, go down to cook pizza. So that is the process map. You can still change the formatting. You can just put in right color, or if you want to change the font color, font type, and so on, you can still do so as well. So this is pretty straightforward and flexible for you to work on. So just choose the formatting that you like to set and work with it. Okay. All right, so next I would like to show you how you can add variables to the shapes. So let's say there is take order shapes. There are some input variables that go into this process. So let's say for this take order shape, I go to shape data, add variables. I can choose to add process data and link data as well. For this example, I'll add in input variables. So when you take order, what are the input variables that go in? Let's say, for example, the menu. Just put it under name. You can still change the type of the data, continuous or attribute, and so on. So I'll just leave it as it is from here. And then we have also wait stuff. Sorry. Wait stuff. And also then output variables, which is the order slip. Okay, so the same for cooked pizza shape. We have ingredients coming in. We have an oven as well. So I'll just quickly put in this data so that later on we can still use it. Oh, sorry. Oven should be the input. Output should be pizza. Okay. So as you can see, when you are adding in the data, let's say X or Y variables, this information has been displayed here. So you can still arrange how you want this data fields to appear on your shapes. Let's say currently it is top and bottom. You want to change it to left and right, you can do that as well. And if you have any process data or link data you would like to add in, you can just put it in here. Okay, it also can capture the yield percentage, revert defect, and so on, and link data like cycle time and so on. Okay, so just hide back. I'll just show you how you can select and arrange the data fields. So I right click, you can just select a shape or highlight the whole thing. If you want to change the whole thing, just highlight the whole thing. And then select shape data and select and arrange shape data. So currently the name appears on top and bottom. So if you want it to be left and right, just drag and drop. So if there is any other data or information that you want to include on your on your map, just drag the data name or the data category into the map, and then drop it at anywhere that you want it to appear at the bottom and so on. So once you fill up this information or data, it will appear on your map. Okay. So the X and Y will go left and right. Okay. So one more thing that you can play around with is if you don't want the X or Y to be there, you only want the data, the value is there, just click on data display. You can hide the whole thing, but you can show the data. Should be able to show just the data labels as well only. Okay, this is just the shape data. So you can just click and explore around later on. And then next, I will show you quickly just show you the C&E matrix, just to show you how the data has been shared in between forms and tools. So C&E matrix falls under form. We will go to form again. C&E, create. All right, so C&E matrix is also part of forms. So you can directly create new variables from here. Vertically, it is for Y variables. Horizontally for X variables. You can also select from existing X variables that you have added in the process map earlier. So that's where the data sharing feature kicks in. So you can choose to select all. You can check all. Okay. Same thing for the Y variables. Select from existing. You can choose just one. Okay. And then you can directly just fill up your C&E matrix according to the value, the net effect by input and so on. Okay, so when you just put in the value, it will be automatically updated for you. And then you can just rate the status, whether it is critical, potential, or eliminated. And then at the bottom, there is a bar chart that will be automatically updated for you. Okay, so this is another way of data sharing in between process map and the form C&E matrix. And then the other options to show you is brainstorming tools. So I'll just add tool. Brainstorming tools covers tools like 4S, 8P, Fishbone Diagram, and so on. So under Fishbone, there are 4 options. City tree, another one. Idea map, another one. So I'll try to create one under man-machine materials. Okay. So whenever you are doing a brainstorming session, let's say the team would like to quickly come up with a brainstorm list. So where's my task pane? Okay. So the team members come up with a lot of ideas along the way when they are doing a brainstorming session. So they can quickly make use of this section on the right on the task pane called Brainstorm Leads. So you can quickly just put in, let's say for this, the same example, we are using reducing pizza defects example. And maybe they think that supplier A could be the one that caused the problem or caused the issue of the defects. Could be there's another oven, and it could be the temperature, the setting when they cook the pizza. Okay, and then since we have already come up with some inputs and outputs variables earlier, you can directly import it from here. Just click on import as variables. You can check all. Okay, so it will be automatically populated for you. Same for Y. Let's say I check all. Okay. So okay, so this is the man-machine materials fishbone diagram. By default, all of the problem statement is there already. You can just double click to rename it. Reducing pixel defects, and then each of these affinity, the cause or the affinity, you can change or rename it on your own. Just double click. Okay, so once you have developed the brainstorm list, you can just directly pull, drag and drop it under whichever section or category that is suitable. Let's say for supplier A, could be man, I'll put under man. Oven could be the machine, I'll put under machine. Okay, and then the temperature could be due to the measurement, put in the measurements, and so on. So these are all easily created for you. So just drag and drop. You don't have to sketch the whole fishbone diagram from zero and then have to align one by one. Okay, and then you can also share the data from your process map earlier. Then you can just directly import them into your fishbone diagram. So same thing, you can still customize, make changes on the formatting. You can change the font type, font color, the fill, lines, and so on. Okay. And the other good thing about the brainstorming tools in Companion is that there is a flexibility for you. If you don't like it to be fishbone diagram or the tree diagram, you want to transform it into another layout, just change it from fishbone to idea map. Okay, and then you can change it to city tree as well. You can also change it to right tree or left tree. So just one click, then you can transform the whole tree to another layout. So there's no need for you to redraw, resketch the whole tree, the diagram all over again. Okay, so that is about the fishbone diagram. Value stream mapping, I'll just quickly show it as well. Value stream mapping is one of the useful tools as well. Just show you how it looks like. Basically, everything is there already. You can make use of the 4 process or 7 process VSM. So if you like to create your own from scratch, just go to the blank one. I'll just pick 4 process to show you how it looks like. Basically, the shapes and the connectors are all there already. So you just have to fill up the data. Okay, so this is how the 4 process looks like. So when you have a large diagram like this, you can make use of a pen window, okay, the one with the hand icon here. Just click on it, then you can just move around. And then there is a section here, you can view it. The red box refers to the section of the diagram that you are moving through. Okay. So click on the pen window section to move around. So this is one good thing. Instead of zooming in one by one, so it's up to you. So this is the 4 process VSM. As you can see, the shapes are all there, inventory, connectors are all there. You just have to disable the pen window. Just double click on the shapes to rename them. Okay, and then or directly fill up the data. So at the bottom of the map, there is pick and through. Whenever you fill up the information for inventory data and the process data, it will appear as pick and through and contribute to the total cycle time at the end of the timeline, total cycle time, value added cycle time, non-value added lead time, and so on. So just task pane. So if I click on, let's say, this inventory, and then the shapes, what is this? This is a process shape. What is the cycle time? And so on. Okay, and then how many operators and so on. So all this will be calculated and updated at the bottom, and then it will contribute to the cycle time at the end of the timeline. So once you have completed the whole diagram, the whole map, then you will get the summary of the timeline. And then on top over here, where you can also calculate the takt time. So takt time is the pace where you need to maintain your production to meet the customer demand. So takt time, for takt time section, you just have to fill up what is your customer demand. If let's say they want 500 pieces of clothing or finished products in a month, you can also change the units or the metrics here. Let's put it as a month, and then based on the existing settings, let's say 8 hours or shift, 8 hours per shift, and then 1 shift a day, 8 hours per day of work, and then 5 days of work per week, and so on, I will be getting 19.2 minutes. Okay, so if you have longer shift, just update it. And then you have 2 shifts, and then you work maybe longer hours a day in the production, and then so on. Okay, so it depends on what is the configuration and settings. Just fill them up, and then you will see the time that you that you need to meet in order that you need to accommodate to in order to meet the customer demand. So as you can see, you will have more time if you have more shift, number of shift a day, or more hours of working for each shift, and then you work longer, more days a week, then you have a longer time for you to produce each piece to meet the customer demand of 500 pieces per month. So if you want to know it in second, just switch the unit to second. Okay, then it will be automatically updated for you. So that is value stream map, and that this is a process data that we filled up earlier, inventory, and so on. So at any point of time, if let's say you have any additional fields that you want to add in, which is not there for you to capture by default, okay, you can still add and arrange data fields. So just go to the list of available data fields for display. So currently in task pane, under process data, we only capture name, cycle time, and so on. So if let's say you want to add in inventory, but inventory should be under inventory here. Let's say you want to put in distance, just click on distance, click on the arrow, then it will go to the task pane for you to capture this data as well. You can also move it up if you want it to appear on top. Okay, you can also add another local field. If there is any fields that are not readily available here for you to display, you can add in your own. Just create a new field, put in the name, what is the data type, text, integer, or date, and so on. And then okay, then it will be listed here for you to move to display in the task pane. You click OK, then the distance is there for you to capture the information. Okay, so I think that's it about the desktop app. Just quickly show you, you can have the option to export Okay, you have the option to export your tools or diagrams into PDF document, CSV file. Let's say if you have data from house of quality data, text file, and so on. You can also export to Microsoft Word and PowerPoint. So these are quite flexible in case if you need to export it to another application for you to present your information. Okay, and then as usual, it works quite straightforward. If you want to save your project file, just save. And then since it is all hosted on cloud storage systems, so it will go into your project repository in cloud. So you can just type in the name of your project. If you want to include it in your dashboard, just click here and so on. And then just quickly show you the dashboard or the web app. So you can go from the desktop app, just click dashboard, and then it will go to the login page for you to access the web app. So it's quite secure because you need to enter all the login information all over again, so that all your data and information has been preserved. So if I go back to our slides earlier, a bit about the dashboard you might want to know. Okay, so we'll go to the web app, just a simple take a look on how the web app looks like, and then the dashboard. Okay, so the dashboard actually draws the data from the project which are stored in the repository to provide a dynamic graphical summary of the program. So you can see your financial summaries, status reports, project impacts or progress against your set target. And then you can also tailor make your report, make it public or private just for yourself to refer to. You can also custom create multiple column sets that summarize the project data in a useful way. And then there is also a powerful search capabilities. So this is how the dashboard looks like. So when you talk about web app, it refers to the whole section that you can see now on the browser. So web app consists of these 4 tabs that you can that is displaying on the screen. First of all, the dashboard, the one that we just talked about. And then there is workflow, projects, repository, and design. So we'll look at dashboard first. This is the dashboard that we have created along the way, just to show you how you can come up with this dashboard easily. This is a report. And then at the bottom, this is called column sets. So column sets are this one. You can create multiple column sets that summarize your project data in the way that you want it to look like. So in another word, it means that you can summarize your project data in columns, okay, instead of in charts that it's like the one on top. And then you can always look into your project data by columns without opening up your project file one by one. So you don't have to go and open up this project in desktop app in order to see this information or the data. Okay, so they are populated based on the project name, each project file. So you can always customize these columns, what you want to look at, what you want to summarize in columns. So that whenever you want to create a new one, just add in from here. So like currently there are 3 sets with different details. Okay, let's say under financial details, then it will show hard saving, soft savings, and so on. Okay, so you can always customize this part on your own later on. So this can all be customized and edited. This is the view this is a section by default you can only view. So if you want to change, just go to edit report. Okay, so for the report section over here, you can add in the filters as well. But currently we are viewing the data for projects which are in progress and completed only. Okay, you can also look at project which has not yet started and so on. And then you can also filter based on business units. So let's say if you don't want healthcare to be there, you want to know only manufacturing. I'm not sure if we have. Okay, so this is based on manufacturing only. And then you can also add in filters by, let's say, location. So all of these filters you can all customize and create for your own use. So in one location, currently we have 7 locations. So you can filter according to the locations that you want to see only. Say only Malaysia. Okay, that's it. So only in Malaysia. So all this can be changed. If you click on edit report, you can customize it, or you can create new report. If you click on create new report, then it will be generated under here. So whenever you want to toggle in between different report, you can just select from this list. So let's say I click on edit report. Okay. So since Companion by Minitab is totally hosted on the cloud storage systems, so it is totally relying on your internet, I would say. So if your internet connection is fast enough, then it will load the data or information much faster. All right, so this is the filters you can edit. You can add in the filters. You can also edit each of these report. Again, we call it summary report. So I'll just quickly show you. So we normally recommend or advise to not to delete all of the reports that are readily available by default. Try to edit from the ones that are provided to you to get yourself familiarized first, and after that you can delete each of them, and then once you are familiar already, then you can come up with your own report from scratch. So when you create a new report, it will look the same as well. There are 6 steps provided to you, okay, guided for you. So first of all, you just have to select the variables that you want to summarize. Let's say for this case, we want to summarize the project actual combined savings. You can choose any other fields as well, other variables as well, or project summary. Let's say you want to know the summarize the effort or the benefit or duration and so on. And then next you go to step 2, which is the timeline. So the time where it shows a trend or snapshot. So you can either show the trend of your project progress, or just a snapshot summary that show data for a single time period. So it depends on what you want to summarize. So for this case, we choose trend to show data over time. And then once you select that, you will see a preview at the bottom when you work on each step. And then step number 3, this is optional, where you can select variables to group the result by. So let's say you want to summarize the combined savings, and then you want to group them by department. In this case, you can also group them by location and so on. Okay. And then subset is also optional. This is for you to define a subset of projects to include in the summary. So let's say if there is any criteria or condition that you want to set, let's say you want to only include the completed projects, so you can set the fields here, and then you can set the condition. So project status, and then what is the condition? Is completed, something like that. Okay. And then what is the target? This is also another optional field. If you have a specific target for the summary, just put it in. So these are the list of options It depends on what you want to summarize. Let's say downtime, that means lower is better. But if you want to summarize the quantity, the number of productions and so on, then number of saving, the amount of savings, then higher is better. So it depends on what you want to summarize or target. And then last step will be customization. So in customize step, it allows you to choose what you want to include in the summary. You want to include just a table or just a graph or both. So you can see at the bottom, this is the table, this is the graph, and how you want to arrange it, left, right, top, bottom, and so on. And then what is the table settings, what is the graph setting, you want it to be bar chart or line chart, or you want it to cluster and so on. And then color palette, so all these can be customized according to your preference. Okay, so I'll just cancel. So once you have done the editing, just exit the edit mode, and then it will be updated on your dashboard summary. Okay, and then the second tab, workflow. Okay, workflow refers to phase gate reviews. I understand that there are some companies that would like each phase of their projects to be reviewed and approved by the steering committee before they can move forward. So this is particularly good when you want to communicate priorities or allocate resources effectively. Okay, from project conception through execution until closure, whereby each phases will need to go through formal approval process and notifications. Okay, so this is how the workflow looks like. You can create a new project from here, a new idea. You need to submit a new idea, just like the one here. When you start up the desktop app, it allows you to choose a new idea as well, to create a new idea or non-workflow projects. So the one that we have created earlier was non-workflow projects. So if you want to create a workflow project, then you have to submit a new idea. And then once you submit and get it approved by the steering committee, it will move to hopper stage. And then after that, you will set what are the data fields, the requirements, data requirements, and so on. What are the methodology, and so on. Okay, so and then from there, it will move to the next phase where you can start to launch your project. Then it will go to active. So these are the list of the projects that we have tested out earlier in our workflow project list. Then it will go to active. Once you are running the project, it will stay in active until you have completed the project. Then it will move to completed. So all of these phases of the project needs approval from steering committee. Okay. Projects tab refers to project repository, whereby all of your project files will be stored here, and you can always have a look on what are the list of the projects currently running in your organizations. Okay. And then design center. Okay, this is something that probably I need to brief a bit on. Okay, design center, we call it sandbox. Okay, sandbox, we create it to make changes to data fields or templates. I'll just let it run. So design center and sandbox is for you to make changes or add to the standard project templates, forms, tools, data that the user creates. So you need to go to the design center to create the sandbox. Sandbox is actually an isolated environment where data architects who wants to experiment or test any changes without affecting the live subscriptions. It means it won't affect other users, other companion users, or other users who are accessing that project file. So sandbox is created, and then these are some of the examples to show you. it might take a while to go into the sandbox. So I'll just leave it here. If you need more information or material about how to go into sandbox and test out with these examples, you can request for the material at the end of the session. Or just put it in the question pane, then we will send it over to you later on. Okay, so there are some examples on how to create project templates from here. Okay, and then last but not least, user roles. As you can see, there are a lot of things contained in Companion by Minitab, so it might look complicated, but it depends on how you assign the user roles as well. So data architects are those the person who will manage all the data definition. They will define in the beginning of the project what data should be there, what templates should be there, and then they set all these templates and data so that later on all the team members and the project teams can directly use these templates or data, and then there will be no redundancy, or they won't mess up the whole project files or the data files. And then license administrators, this is similar to Minitab statistical software as well. When you have network license or license that are with multiple users, you need a license administrator to set up the subscriptions, to add users and manage software updates. So usually IT department will be someone that can help out to be the license administrators. Administrators refers to this the person that has access to all projects. He can open, edit, and release checkout whenever someone is using or accessing the project files. He needs to access it, and then he can release checkout. Okay. Administrator and data architects could be some from the same person, so it depends on the organization as well, how you define it. And then users will be the end users or the team members at the ground level, who will most of the time be working on the desktop app. So this group of users will be creating and executing projects or private dashboard for their reference. So this is a little bit summary of what we have covered today. What are the benefits of Companion by Minitab? So as you can see, it is an easy and fast to deploy. And then it comes with dashboard so that you can eliminate the non-value added work of chasing down phone calls to summarize project data, emails, and spreadsheets. So everything is in one product already. And then you can have a customized, standardized project methodologies and tools. And the same for reporting of KPI, project status, project durations, benefits, and so on. It provides centralized project server, which is hosted on the cloud storage known by Microsoft Azure. So it is a secure centralized project server. There is no need for you to reserve a project server, especially for all your project files. Okay, and this will indirectly reduce or totally eliminate the IT dependency. And then in terms of end user point of view, it is one solution with all the interconnected soft tools. Then it will reduce waste of re-entering and retyping information. When you don't have to retype or re-enter the information, this will also indirectly reduce the time so that you can move forward, focus on more important things of your projects, more important parts of your project, and it will also reduce data entry error. That is one of the prominent benefits as well. And it serves as a single record of reference for all project information and documentation. And there's no need for you to have an additional project tracking system to update the project information anymore. Okay. So this is some conclusion. So it's a complete solution on the market for efficient continuous improvement project, and not only for project execution, but also for project summary. Okay, and the desktop app itself with the roadmaps and tools, make it easy for the team members to stay focused on problem solving and to organize their work and their projects. The web app, on the other hand, provides effortless reporting and visibility for management. So, okay, this is something quite interesting. Because currently everyone has been talking about COVID-19, and then Minitab has also come up with a recent blog, which is using Companion by Minitab, okay, by Adventist Healthcare in US. They are using process map, especially in Companion by Minitab, to come out with the process, to streamline their process, to fight back and keep their staff safe. So this is something useful that I would like to share. Probably the blog link could be slightly too long for you to capture and type. You can just go to Minitab blog. Okay, then you can find this blog. It's on the second on the list already. Okay, so it's on the second on the list of the list. So you can always go to this Minitab blog on their website. Take a look on this interesting blog on how Adventist Healthcare is using process map in Companion to streamline their process during this COVID-19 season. Okay, so you can have a look on yourself later on. Other than that, last but not least, so I believe most of you are aware that Minitab, all the while, Minitab statistical software has been the flagship product. So for those of you who are not familiar with us, I wanted to also say a little bit about Minitab. So for nearly 50 years, Minitab has helped companies to spot trends, solve problems, and to discover valuable insights in their data by delivering a comprehensive and best-in-class suite of statistical analysis and process improvement tools. So the companies that use Minitab products and services, they come in all sizes and industries, and as well as geographical locations, including over 85% of them are from the Fortune 500. And the main goal is to help them achieve it, okay, achieve the excellence, the commitment to excellence that they all share. And in the webinar today, you already saw Companion by Minitab. So we'll actually also offer the other four software, the other four products. So first of all, Minitab statistical software, which is our flagship product to predict, visualize, and analyze your data. And then we have Quality Trainer, which is the one on the rightmost. It is for online e-learning to master statistics and learn Minitab statistical software. We have SPM, which is Self-Work Predictive Modeler, which is for machine learning and predictive analytics. And then you have just seen Companion. Last but not least, this is our newest product, Minitab Workspace, which enables you to move your work forward with powerful visual tools, all in one intuitive interface. So besides the product itself, besides the software, we also offer services like training, either public or in-house training, statistical consulting, like something like a mentoring service to provide you personal statistical support, and then technical support, okay, where we will assist you with installation, implementation, version updates, and license management. Okay, so if probably some of you might heard about the Workspace earlier, because we have been sending out emails about Minitab Workspace, I think last month and early this month. So Workspace was actually launched early last month, early April. So probably some of you might be curious or wondering what's the difference between Workspace and Companion. So in another word, Workspace is like a simplified version of Companion, which consists of only the desktop app section of Companion. So Companion, as we have been talking about it since the beginning of today's webinar, it is a cloud-based continuous improvement management package for project execution, governance, workflow, and dashboard reporting. So it's a whole package which is for project management. Whereas Workspace, we are focusing more on set of visual tools. Okay, it is only a desktop application, but it comes with a comprehensive set of visual tools for better business productivity. So if you want to know more about Workspace, you can always go to our website, www.business.com. Okay, and then, or you can also sign up for our next webinar or to discover what is Minitab Workspace. This webinar will happen in another 2 months' time, 21st of July, same time, 11 a.m. So if you want to see all the details when you want to sign up, just go to visits.com/minitab/webinars. Okay. So is there any question? Check. When was this product launched? Okay, we have a question from one of our participants. I think he was referring to Companion by Minitab. It was actually launched in 2017. And then I think recently, in less than 2 months, there is a recent update to that version. So in between different releases, Minitab will also come up with updates to enhance the existing bugs and fixes, and then there might be some minor enhancement made as well. Okay, and then there is a question about, is the web dashboard included in the Companion license, or is it an option that need additional license and monthly cloud subscription? Okay, due to the release of Minitab Workspace, we no longer offer just the desktop app of Companion. So you can only get the full version of Companion by Minitab. That means you will have both desktop app and the web app together. So for those existing customers who are using or who are having only the desktop app of Companion in the past, before the release of Minitab Workspace, they will have a direct access to use Minitab Workspace. Okay, but they won't be converted into full version. So if they want to get a Companion, they will only have option to go for full version, which will be having the desktop app and the web app. So there is no need for you to purchase an additional cloud subscription for the web app or the dashboard. Okay, it comes all together in the package in Companion nowadays. Okay, in the past it was a different package. You can opt for just a desktop app without the web app, or the full version with the web app. But since the release of Workspace recently, we have made some changes on the licensing options for Companion. So there's only one type of licensing option for Companion right now. That means the full version. Okay. So thanks a lot for the questions. If you have any other questions later on, just feel free to drop us an email. Okay. So if you're still you're thinking to try out Companion by Minitab, you can download the 30 days free trial. Just go to minitab.com/companion, or just go to our website, visits.com, and then you will go through the list of products. And then from there, there is a link to download trial from Minitab. You can always email us at minitab@visits.com for any question or feedback or comments or any requests. And also, don't forget to follow us on our social media page. on Facebook or LinkedIn, you can just scan your mobile phone on the QR code on the screen if you want to directly go to our social media page. So we will constantly or regularly update latest information, events, webinars, or training schedule, or anything else, especially the tech tips. I think tech tips is something useful because it is something that you can explore on. Maybe you have been using Minitab statistical software for years, but there's some tips or tricks that you might miss out. So just follow our social media page then to get access to all this information. Okay. So with that, thank you. Thanks a lot for your time, for joining the webinar today. And with that, I would like to end or wrap up the webinar today. So thanks again for taking out the time out of your busy schedule to join us on the webinar today. So again, stay safe, and if you need any help or have any questions throughout these challenging times, feel free to contact us about Minitab software or any other products offered by Minitab. Okay, thanks a lot for your time. Okay, stay safe. Bye.